But let's see how Black ANANAS decide to take this draft against SEA Monster.
Will the bans be similar to how we saw them in the first set, or will they change it over just a little bit? Maybe adapting to a little bit more of an amateur meta, which, if we're honest, Sea Monsters did look like there were a couple of amateurs going up against the pros. But anyway, the pros are going to pretty much make anyone look like amateurs. If you're not a professional player, they'll make you look pretty bad at the game. You might not be, but that's what this match is for. And Murad is going to be off the board first. Black ANANAS banner. So
still serious bans coming into play. Murad, you don't want him bopping about on the map. Of course, you've got Murad Light, which is Zil. He's still going to be an option because he doesn't see a lot of bans. Has been banned a couple of times in earlier series as, I think, slightly more targeted, especially when it came towards what the Taiwanese and the Thailandish teams, or Thai teams, were picking up.
Yeah, Alice is going to be banned. Okay, so they don't want to face that Chauknar Alice or the L'Oreal Alice combo. They're just going to completely get rid of it. That's I think it's the first time we've seen Alice banned in this tournament. In this proceedings. This isn't part of the tournament, obviously.
Well, yeah, Alice hasn't been banned the entire AIC.
Yeah.
Had a couple of picks, quite a low pick rate, because a lot of people are picking up Chauknar and L'Oreal without picking up the Alice, because you can still do that. But yeah, Alice hasn't been banned in the AIC.
No. So last ban coming in, Jamie. 3 seconds. What are you going to choose? It's going to be the Zil, so the Murad Light is off the boards.
It does leave open Ryoma.
Yeah, they're just going to lock that one straight in.
But that also means that the L'Oreal can now go over to Sea Monster if they want to take it.
I'm expecting a Malok L'Oreal being picked up.
It would be, statistically, it would be the smart play to make.
Whether or not they'll make it remains to be seen.
Well, they wanted to play Kriknak.
They could prioritize whatever they want.
Yeah. Without knowing a lot about these teams, we've only really seen Sea Monster play one game, and this will be their final game of the day as well, because they're only going to play 3 games in this influencer, or should we say exhibition match, event match is what they're titled.
Just done a little bit of research, and the SS520 is in fact a rocket, a spaceship.
Oh.
So there you go. It's a SS520. The base configuration is a 2-stage sounding rocket, which uses S520 as the first stage. Unlike the previous version of the S-series family of rockets, the SS520 are not pro-manually designed.
Sorry to
interrupt
you, John.
Use.
We're talking about a little bit relevant, because that went on for a bit too long.
Thane and Arthur. Okay, so not the ideal picks, really, and that's going to open up Black ANANAS to take a L'Oreal. And who else? They're going to pick up the Slims. So absolutely devastating. We've seen Slims be in these matches.
As soon as they...
See you shaking your head.
Yeah, as soon as they weren't looking at picking up the L'Oreal, I'm thinking, why are you giving Ryoma and L'Oreal? There's a reason why Ryoma and L'Oreal, if we actually carry through the statistics from the AIC to these matches, L'Oreal and Ryoma still maintain 100% pick ban. And they have let both of them through to the side of Black ANANAS, which seems like a bit of a failure from their drafting perspective. Arthur, not been played in the AIC at all, doesn't get a lot of play in Asia at least, but in Europe, Arthur's quite a popular pick.
Yeah, very strong sort of solo laner. As soon as you sort of keep in that laning phase, the stronger Arthur becomes. He's very, very strong, able to move on towards his enemy targets. See him a lot in solo queue being picked up as well. Certainly in my games when I'm playing my one-trick Valheim, I seem to get jumped on by Arthur more often than not.
I one-trick Astrid the Arthurs.
Yeah.
Because Astrid has a great interaction with Arthur that you should win every trade. In the sense that Arthur will jump on you, he will charge at you, give you a slow. Oh, okay, they've filled out the board already.
Right, okay. A couple of picks going on forwards. You can see Sea Monsters again, really.
They've just given over everything to Black ANANAS.
This is like the best possible comp for Black ANANAS. This is maybe like the best comp possible at the moment. That's like your ideal setup. Maybe not even replacing anything. Honestly, the L'Oreal could be swapped out for Chauknar, but other than that, given a blank slate, that's probably something you'd come up with. Yeah,
pretty much. Throwing the Illumia in there. Illumia has great options with her ultimate. It will, obviously her ultimate channels a ray of light on the position at the time of cast of all 5 enemies on the field, and that drops a brief stun. So if the players are stuck together, not necessarily being as mobile as they should be in the fights, they can get caught out with some serious AoE, especially if they're all layered on top of each other.
And that's the thing, if they'd have teamed up with the Malok to try and get the AoE knockups as well, you know, you cast that, cast the ultimate, jump in with the Malok, get the knockup. I mean, it could be viable, but it's not something we've seen in the AIC so far. Maybe it's not so viable. Maybe it's something they haven't paid attention to because, of course, it's only a year old. I mean, we do see the meta develop, but I'm trying to, I feel like I'm trying to analyze a fruit salad here. I mean, it's not going to...
Yeah, I think you're trying to find logic in something that might not have logic beyond it's a comfort pick.
Yeah, probably.
You know, but they could have a plan in action. We could see it, and they could roll over Black ANANAS. We don't know how good Black ANANAS are.
No, remains to be seen. But we will not have to wait very long, as we are going to load into the arena of Valor. Black ANANAS take on the Sea Monsters in our second Influencer game.
And they're setting a nice little trap for Black ANANAS on the Sage Golem as they go in for the invade.
Wow, Sea Monsters again get styled on at the start. They get invaded, but they're turning it around quite nicely. Actually, Top starts to go on the ropes as he is able to just fly out the side there, trying to dash over the wall. Is he going to be able to get away with that? Oh my God, Omar. What a highly mobile champion. Oh, hero, jeez. That was highly unexpected. They should have been able to pick that one up, just no one paid attention to it.
While this has been going on, Malok has just been sat in the top lane. He got the first wave, so he's got a slight gold edge over everyone else at the moment.
They're not going to do the Sage Golem. Just going to sit in the brush and look at it.
I think they're expecting a counter invade again, and someone to come in and try and steal it, maybe.
Maybe. Nonetheless, they did have to back off Top, so he is probably going to go back to base, but no, he's just going to stick around and clear out the jungle camps.
Okay. And Malok going to keep the pressure up in the top lane. Fane being put into a solo lane, I don't necessarily agree with. It is doable, but we've seen a lot of him being played around the mid lane and trying to catch out ganks and positional errors by the enemy team. So put him in a lane where he's not going to be able to do much by himself. It seems like a missed opportunity on the side of Sea Monster.
Ooh, Ryoma just able to get the stun. I feel like Ryoma potentially an even better counter to Arthur than perhaps even Astrid. Maybe.
Impossible.
Impossible. Astrid's the best hero in the game, apparently, according to Trid. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Low elo.
Confirmed on the English language stream. There we go. They are going to go for the fight, though, and the Sea Monster.
Beautiful
knockup.
Nice
favorable one. It is a very nice knockup from Thane, but it doesn't matter because you've got 4 people, and the Malok is there ready and waiting as well. He's going to be able to pick up a kill. Omar finds one as well, and that's the third to follow it up, and Sea Monsters, they seem to be drowning.
Look, I'm just trying to give something back to them. I can't just take everything away from them. And it was a nice lockup, getting the 3 members all together. But you're correctly right, John. There's too many members of Black ANANAS in that one area. They could just win the fight out easy in a 4v3.
We saw Edu do it on Thane, jump into these unfavorable charges because it looks like a good play to make. But when you're in the midst of the enemies, you can't really do anything about it because they're just going to jump back on you. You might get the knockup with your Thane. You don't have the damage. You're out of position. And they're just going to rally around it. So not really the best play to make, and the Abyssal Dragon goes down. Yeah,
Abyssal Dragon for Black ANANAS. Back on the whole Fane situation, so we've got a little bit of time with this because it's a little bit slower when we have the breakdown. Fane's, you've got 2 options with it. If you need to gap close, you use your charge, then use the knockup. If you get this drop on your enemy, you knock up and then you charge to isolate a single target away from the team.
That's back towards your own team.
Yeah, exactly. You isolate them away from their team by charging back into yours. I feel as though that's something that's not done a lot in solo queue of Fane, especially in the lower elos. They're like, I need to close this gap and get in now, rather than be a little bit more patient and setting up a trap of their own. Yeah, the positioning obviously very, very important, no matter who you are, no matter what elo you're playing on. There's the ultimate you're talking about. Illumia ult. Not getting a stun, but it's not really going to have any effect. Maybe could have saved it for a little bit later on when they were actually ready to go for the engage, because that's a charge that Thane should have taken, 2v4. Yeah, absolutely, but I understand the thought process behind it. See if they can stun him up long enough to stop the tower from going down and getting an answer into it, but the duration's just not long enough in the early levels for it to happen. Slims now hasn't actually been sort of in these fights, but he's certainly ahead in levels. Level 7 already, 2.1k under his belt, only beaten by Malok, who has 2 kills. Yeah, and he's just been power farming. Max range spear, here's some top.
Jamie will just fall straight down with the burst. L'Oreal trying to find it. The stun is going to keep Jamie alive for just a little bit longer. Trying to turn it around. There's Black ANANAS finding the kill. Ormar will be the one to claim it in Eruption. Jumping away, trying to get away with that time, but it's not going to be quite enough. Oh, no, it is. They are able to get out of that one, but 3 kills go over to Black ANANAS, and they might be having flashbacks to that previous game.
Too early on the ultimate from Doji. They weren't low enough for that to secure a kill, because Thane's ultimate scales off missing HP on the enemy, and he used it on a half-health Ormar.
So potentially not the best use of it.
Yeah, not the most efficient use. Yeah, it's the one thing I kind of spotted from that as the most obvious problem of what Sea-Monster did there.
They're going for a 2 versus 1 against Ryoma, and at this point, I don't really favor your odds. Level 6 and level 5 versus level 8, and with a backup from L'Oreal, they're just going to be able to disengage. Did actually have to burn the flicker to get away, but Doggy now, coming in from the river brush, has to charge out the Thane mobility, disengaging, but it's not going to matter. Aim will have his aim on point, and they're going to turn it on for a second as well. Anthony's going to go down, followed very, very quickly by Haxa, and yeah, I mean, there's very little to say about this one. Again, 5.5 minutes in Sea-Monsters, again, just on the ropes.
And this is just going to be the mid-inner tower for the side of Black ANANAS. They've got pressure in the bot lane. They need to ramp it up in the top if they want to close this out early. Could we see them go for an early Darkslayer like we saw the Korean All-Stars do? At the moment, they're on the Dragon, so it won't be an immediate one, but it can definitely be on the cards for them.
They haven't positioned around it. The Abyssal Dragon is going to be their priority for now. To be honest, though, they don't really need the Darkslayer.
Neither did the Korean All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, but it was the objective that was up, and they waited for the waves to start pushing in, and then off the back of the Darkslayer, they just pushed in and won the fight. But as you said before, it was unnecessary damage. It was something that they did not need to do, and I don't think Black ANANAS, the way they're sort of playing, they aren't going for unnecessary plays. They're making smart decisions, and Sea-Monsters are just sort of repeatedly making these mistakes that they're exploiting. They're trying to dissuade the engage with that stun from the ultimate, but it's not going to matter. They're just going to both go down as Ormar able to lay on the hurt.
And they've got the wave coming in with the mid lane. They've got 5 members all there. Not enough on the side of Sea-Monster to defend this one.
Well, they're just going to take the high ground turret. Doggy trying to charge back in. There's a 3-man knockup. Haxa trying to get in the fight, but they're just getting zoned out, damaged out, and that's kind of pretty much going to be it. AIM will take down the final kill. They're on to the core. They do have the damage reduction, and that's going to be it. Sea-Monsters with an even shorter game, if that's even possible, against Black ANANAS.
Didn't even get a single kill. 14-0 kill scoreline.
Are these guys pro players?
I believe they are.
Okay, we'll have to do a bit of research. Maybe they're from some of the maybe a Chinese league that we haven't looked at. But
yeah, potentially, because China wasn't being a part of the AIC, so we didn't. I wasn't going to take the time to look at the region that had no influence on the tournament itself.
No. So one more match remains, and that's going to be Black ANANAS going up against the All-Stars from Korea.
Yeah, Korean All-Stars against Black ANANAS. That's kind of like falling into the format of the double elimination coming up from the losers bracket final to have the grand final matchup, because they were both able to beat out the Sea-Monsters. They're tied 1 apiece, so this is the decider. See who will come ahead as the honorary victor of this tournament.
Yeah, we've got. I just been informed that the Black ANANAS, they are a professional organisation, so this is going to be a pro team from